Hello and welcome. Bienvenidos to the Las Vegas Book Festival, the 20th anniversary at that. My name is Tanna Marie. I am a Las Vegas native. I am a singer, a songwriter, a rapper, and now even a published poet. You can find my writing and work in the Behind the Neon anthology book, along with some other amazing artists. I want to thank you for tuning in. Today I will be sharing some of my original work with you, some of my most personal poems that mean a lot to me. They're near and dear to my heart, so I hope you like them. And let's get right into it. So this first poem of my original work is called Rage. And I am a survivor of domestic violence, and also I went through a really bad divorce, and it was really hard. And I used all of that pain in my poetry and in my music. So it just goes to show you can turn anything you're going through into something beautiful. So this is Rage. Rage, coursing through every vein, my arteries clogged with the illusion that one day you'd change, but you don't. And this rage is homeless. It has nowhere to go, so it sets up camp in the alleyway of my brain, keeping me up at night, driving through the dumpster fire that is the memory of you. So I put out the fire the only way I know how. I douse the flames in buckets of tears, and as the smoke clears, I look for signs of damage. Another memory vanished, but the rage is still there, engulfed in a stench of broken promises, passed out from exhaustion, so sadness comes in to take its place. It's a long distance relay race, and my body is too sore to continue running. But somehow, it still does. Sadness resembles rage, but hardly stays in my brain. No, sadness likes to travel along each muscle in my body, dragging its baggage from one traumatic experience into my heart and slamming it down until the pressure is almost too much to bear. I gasp for air, but the air is polluted with the familiar scent of regret and shame. A fragrance I know all too well. I inhaled its rancid smell the first time my innocence was taken from me. Over the years, I've tried to overcome the aroma, sense playfulness and laughter with a drop of people-pleasing that was passed down to me from my mother and her mother, and I'm sure it goes on and on. It's been in the family for centuries, so who am I to switch it up now? Even though, to be honest, I'm so sick of the smell. I'd love to try perfumes like self-love and boundaries, but I just don't know that I have the emotional wealth to purchase them. But don't worry, I'm saving up. See, in my piggy bank, I keep all the change I wish to make in this lifetime. And I gently fold papers with faces of people I hope to build futures with, hoping that one day I'll have enough to buy enough time to see it pay off for my son. I want his lungs filled with aroma of home-cooked meals, his heart full of love letters, his brain filled with affirmations, his veins a river in which peacefulness flows, his body a temple in which no one gets in without permission. Rage, coursing through every vein, my arteries clogged with the illusion that one day you'd change, but you won't. So I will. That poem was really emotional to write, and it's a lot easier now to read back, but I definitely wanted to play with the idea of turning rage and sadness into physical things, because there's such an emotional feeling, and I think sometimes people who aren't as emotional or empaths have a hard time understanding emotions, and I wanted to make it a little bit easier to understand. This one's called Amusement Park. And here we are again, standing in the mirror, white face, red nose, a joke to him. Clowning around led me to believe I could be vulnerable with you, not Pennywise, yet you bursted my balloon, our love full of hot air. It was all smoke and mirrors. You juggling other women, me juggling fears. Will I end up the fool again? The answer is here we are again. Standing outside of your house, white shirt, red lips, a joke again, but this time to me. I laugh because I can't believe I'm here again. A Ferris wheel of emotions, it builds and builds, but we never stay at the top for too long. A few moments, then it's gone like magic. Cat's out of the bag. Rabbit. Please just disappear. You've cut me in half in front of an audience. They all applaud because I smiled and pretended to be okay. It's magic, they say. And the show goes on. I don't want to be your assistant anymore. I don't want to be the glass bottle catching the abuse you toss my way. No, I am the prize you win after a long day. I am the sweet cotton candy, the warm funnel cake. I won't play your games. Put it in park. I'm not amused anymore. That one was really fun to write. I liked playing with the words there and making it seem like an amusement park. Also the feeling of an amusement park being one of your favorite things, but also it turning scary or not so fun. Yeah, I like that. That's one of my personal favorites. This one is called Whole Lotta Woman. I am too whole for half of love. I don't need someone to complete me. I need you to be complete. Or at least working towards it. I am no longer taking applications from those who seek repair. The AutoZone and mechanics are over there. And yes, I'm a mother, but not yours. So that role I will not play anymore. If it's healing you seek, I have a therapist you can speak to. See, I'm not even completely healed myself, so I refuse to entertain the thought of allowing someone else to use me as their tub, filling me with false hope and draining me of my energy. I prefer showers. I seek someone who showers themselves in affirmations, love, respect, and understanding as I do. And communication is key too, because if you mistake my concerns for arguments and my boundaries for stubbornness, then you are a dog barking up the wrong tree. See, I grew roots and self-love so deep that no wind of change could break me. So if you think I'm beautiful or love my energy, please be mindful and only step to me if you too love wholeheartedly. This next poem is called Bare Feet, and I wrote this at the park with my son. He was playing on the jungle gym and I was sitting. I like to take my shoes off in the grass and put my feet on the grass and ground, and this is when I wrote that. I like to be barefoot in the grass, my body sinking deeper into the earth beneath me, grounding me. Wind sweeping against my body, Mother Nature tickling me in a childlike manner, trees waving hello, almost as if they're excited to see me again. I close my eyes. I hear the sounds of kids' laughter, erupting from the playground, echoing into the mountains, disappearing into the backdrop that is the sunset. I open them again and see the sun playing hide and seek behind clouds of pink, like a toddler fighting sleep. Unable to fight it any longer, it finally closes its eyes and slips into a peaceful slumber. The moon takes its place, glowing bright for all to see, with the confidence of a child before they were told what they should be. If you should ever feel lost, look around. Marvel at the beauty surrounding you and you'll quickly be found. Home is right here, right now, wherever your bare feet lead. Yeah, I have this huge love for nature and the sky. I am that person who takes pictures of every single sunset. So this next one, this will definitely let you know how much I love the sky. Why do I feel so drawn to the sky? Why do the clouds bring me comfort? Why does the sun rising feel like hope and the sunset feel like congratulations? Why do the stars wink at me like we share a secret I have yet to uncover? As if inside of me is the same magic that lights up the moon. Why does the wind against my skin feel like a mother's hug? Is it because Mother Nature is the only mother-daughter relationship I've experienced in this lifetime? She taught me true beauty. She watched me bloom. She believed in me when I said I could fly, and she taught me that thunder was only a precursor to the electricity that runs through my veins. I am the sun, a ray of light carrying nutrients to life. I am a reflection of her and everyone around me. I am God. I suppose that's why I feel so drawn to the sky. This next poem, because it is Spanish Heritage Month, I am Mexican American. And it's funny though, because I speak Spanish like I was from Puerto Rico, because that's where I learned Spanish. I'm a third generation American. My great grandma is from Mexico. Her and my great grandpa came from Mexico. And they taught their kids Spanish, but my grandma didn't feel like teaching my dad and his siblings Spanish. She was embarrassed of where her parents came from, and they were poor. And she grew up, they were in North Carolina, and it was really racist at the time. So she didn't want to teach them Spanish. Their kids were already darker. And I feel like I definitely missed out on some of my heritage, and I wish I knew more. So this poem kind of explains that. Güera, gringa, you don't look Hispanic. Oh wait, with dark hair you do, and hoops. Yeah, hoops. Now I see it. I didn't before, that must be it, but why is your last name not Hispanic? Are you white? It's okay if you are. No? Well, what are you? Who are you? What are your parents? Why don't you accept your Mexican roots? Are you even Mexican? Then why do you speak like a Puerto Rican? Are you Boricua? Mira. I learned Spanish in Puerto Rico with my best friend's family. And I wish I knew more about me, but I feel them, my ancestors, all around me, all of the time, in the air and in my coffee, running through my veins and in my mind, but I can't tell you much about them. My great-grandma, I am told, was 5'7", my height. Fair-skinned like me, I have her serious resting face, her wide hands that were known for sewing, cooking, and healing. I have her creativity. I have her spiritual abilities, but what she had that I don't, and I long for, is her history. She knew who she was and where she came from, a blessing that missed me. She only spoke Spanish. When my dad was young, she would write them letters with her foreign tongue. Have I read them? Not one. But I feel as if I know her. How do you miss someone you've never met? I am third generation immigrant, and yet I feel like an imposter. What I would give to hear her stories, to receive a letter from her, to share a cup of café con leche. I wish I had her recipes. To go back in time would mean everything. To hear, mija, todo está bien. I know everything will be okay. I know she watches over me. I met her once in a dream. She was extremely sweet, but stern in her speech, and I knew that she was me. That's why I can't give up, because I wanted to believe. But when you can hear your ancestors applauding your work, thanking you for healing generational curse after generational curse, you can't help but continue. I just wish I knew more about them so I could know more about me, so I didn't feel so incomplete. Her daughter, my grandma, didn't teach my dad or siblings Spanish. She was embarrassed by where she came from, poor immigrant parents. They worked hard and every day and every night, but in the end, they hardly got by. And the stares and the whispers made my grandma turn a blind eye to the people who risked their lives for her chance at a new life. My grandma hated that she got my great-grandpa's dark skin. She married a white man but didn't know within that he had native blood. So her children still were born with skin like mud, brown and full of indigenous history, but don't track it into the house, wash it off. Stay out of the sun, don't practice your native tongue, don't become like me. I wish you could see that where we came from was nothing to be embarrassed of, that it deserves to be celebrated. Our ancestors were warriors, healers, medicine men, teachers, kings and queens. Poor is a mindset. We are rich in history. We That includes me. Because a fish may not know the school he swam with, but he knows he belongs to the sea. That is titled Anita, because that is the name of my great-grandma. That poem definitely helped me transmute some of the feelings I had about not feeling Mexican enough or Hispanic enough, and knowing where I came from. I think what's beautiful about all of us is that we have many different backgrounds, and we come from so many different people, and some of us know more about our ancestry than others, but it doesn't mean that we're still not included in that. And for a long time, I didn't think I was, but I definitely am. All right, this last poem is called Comal. I aspire to be able to handle life the way our abuelas handled tortillas on the comal, fearless. Hand directly on the flame, but somehow they know exactly when to remove it to avoid getting burned. It has to be instinctual, harder than you think, so you practice a little at a time. You start with something you're not sure you can do. You're scared and nervous, somewhat excited too, and as the fear keeps rising, you keep flipping to a new chapter inside of you. Eventually, you move on to that one thing that fear has set ablaze. You close your eyes, take a deep breath, and just like that, you're performing on stage. You look into the crowd, hundreds of eyes. Silence is loud, the attention is on you, and that fear is gone. No longer leading you, you've let go of its hand and strayed from the path and allowed the undeniably bright light that is bravery lead the way. You've lived to flip the script another day. Eventually, you and fear will no longer remember each other's face. But when you do, and that glimpse of fear comes to you, quiet your thoughts, slow your breathing, listen to your instincts, and flip the tortilla already. All right, guys, that has been my time. I do want to thank you so much, all the viewers at home, for listening. And I do invite you to listen to all of the Tapestry and Nevada poets by simply going to LasVegasBookFestival.com. Thank you again. Remember, kindness is free. Sprinkle it everywhere. Bye, guys.